The original Himalayan shamanic traditions, it's a different form of spirituality, some sense of original form of spirituality, and some of them has also dark side, and some of them have more light side. And throughout the Himalaya regions, or throughout even around the world, in the shamanic form, there are forms of sacrificing things, which is the dark side of it. And then there are other side where there are really like a genuine sense of respect to the nature and the elements, natural elements, and the spirits of the nature. I recently visited Sikkim, and in Sikkim there is Lepcha people. It's about I think around 150,000 Lepcha people there, and some of the things that I encountered with them was a very interesting experience that I thought was that what they were saying. They don't have a temple, they don't have of course church or anything like that. They have a little shrines in the individual homes, and they have a rocks, feather, and some candles, and these symbol of nature are direct access for them to the spirit, great spirit, to the essence, to their great spirit. You know, many other traditions have so much form and images, and which represents things, but raw nature are more direct access to the truth, or something like that. And I thought it was really interesting. It's true. Generally, we have so much forms, which is like the door to the truth or to the essence, but they are so minimum and so raw to the nature, to the access of the truth and the spirits. You know, some of these Himalayan form of shamanism, they don't particularly talk about the ultimate liberation or enlightenment or Buddhahood or something like that, but they do feel like they are more connecting to the source, connecting to the great spirit, connecting to the deity. So, and through the connection to the nature and these great spirits, they feel like they're gaining a lot of healing powers to heal. The understanding of the nature, they're very, very aware of the plants, which plants comes when, and what kind of elemental healing powers they have, when you should take, when you shouldn't take, and so on. They have incredible knowledge about that. In the Bön tradition, we have 9 ways of Bön, and the first 4 ways of Bön are, it's called causal vehicles. In those causal vehicles, there is a lot of work of elements, spirits, healings, rituals, and exorcism, and so there are many practices like that, which some of them overlaps with other like shamanic tradition. There might be some similarities, but in the Bön itself, it doesn't call itself shamanism or like that. It does not. The word shamanism is not applied in the Bön tradition. Work of 5 element in its most gross way, like a raw element working, it is in the causal vehicles. And if you prefer, you can call it like it's similar to other shamanic work, but again, in Bön, we don't call Bön as a shamanism. And working with these same elements in its higher form, more like the more form of wind or chi or energy, which are recognized in our body. So then there is a higher level of practices, more like in a tantrikism, in tantric tradition, where through the movement, through the breathing, through the postures, through gaze, you're connecting with a certain elemental energies to to bring into the certain state of mind, or to influence our mind to bring into the certain state of mind in higher form meditation. So you're still practicing element, but in a different way. Then in highest form, like in a dzogchen, you're still practicing element in most highest form of the elements, 5 elements, in its form of light. So white light, blue light, red light, green light, yellow light, it's referred as the 5 pure lights. So these 5 pure lights is still the most essential form of 5 elements, but it's totally linked with a state of awareness, a different state of awareness, or different 5 wisdom. It's called 5 wisdom. So when you're practicing with the 5 wisdom in its highest form of awareness, then you're gaining a liberation of rainbow body. So use of 5 element, either it's in a gross form, or it's an energetic form, or its highest form as a light. All 3 are complementary. They're linked to each other. Undeniable connection. That's important, because sometimes in Tibetan tradition, it seems like people are less aware of that. So those who are working with the raw element, and they think it's like a lower or less important or not important, or even sometimes something bad. Or when we're doing more like energetic work on physical, like yoga or something like that, or then it's only a physical, but it's not related with enhancing higher awareness or something like that. But the real, more complete understanding is to understand all these 3 ways, that it's the element in its form, element it's in energy, element it's in the pure form of light. They all complement each other. As a human being, you need to practice all of them together to have the best outcome or best result of spiritual development to work together. So that's, I think, very unique approach in the Burn tradition, and that I think that awareness is very, very strong. And the practice of Chu, like offering your body, practice of soul retrieval, working with the spirit who might have stolen your soul, to retrieve that back, or ransom offering that people, whatever outer forces, it's like a kind of wanting something from you, giving them something what they want, to be free from your soul energy, to come back. All these knowledge are there, but in the Burn tradition, they don't particularly call it as a shamanism. In a way, in some time, that the way in the Western world, sometimes shamanism, it's seen as a positive thing, sometimes it's seen as a negative thing. And so I think it's important to see that which way how you look at it, So how you look at it, there are aspects of it is very important to valuable. Then there are aspects of it maybe it's not so important to trying to preserve it. Human beings, we have kind of lost not to know what the value of life is. We are confused between the need and wanting what we want. Our needs are very basic. If the whole human history and whole economic development, technological development, it's more based on our human needs, probably we have less damaged the environment. But we did not base on our needs. We went with our wanting, our greediness, and we are very much really like lost. So our happiness, basic happiness, we seek in the material, but those basic happiness is within ourselves, within the connection to the nature. If you are genuinely connected to the nature, you feel so much lively and happiness. If you genuinely connect with your family, there's so much happiness there. If you genuinely connect with your own yourself, there is a more genuine sense of happiness there. So many basic human needs are more in connection to the nature, among ourselves, to ourselves, than accumulation of more material thing. Of course, we are dependent on a material thing, but we went too far. And to the point, what we trying to get, we lose much more. In the end, we lose much more than what we gain. I'm not for sure, okay, but I think the reason why there are many people who are wanting to practice today's shamanism, which is also some of them are more related with indigenous traditions like Native Americans, in South Americans, and in Mongolian and Tibet and different places. Maybe it's a very simple thing. What really people want is the connection. Connection. They wanted to connect. They lost connection in their life. They lost connection to themselves. They lost connection with their family. They lost connection. They lost trust in the politics and many things. They lost things. They're seeking connection. And in a way, a simpler or easier or more familiar way, a place for connection is to the nature. And also sometimes they wanted to connect with these spirits, and they're also interested something more than themselves. What is that more than themselves? So if they don't understand the Buddha, they don't understand enlightenment, they don't understand the five pure wisdom, then they still want to understand something, what is beyond me, ordinary me. How I can connect something beyond just this ordinary my suffering. So they are seeking for connection. I think maybe that is a simple answer. Maybe it's too much, I'm answering maybe too simplified way, I'm not sure, but maybe that's one possibility.